This is the Go Ultra from Insta360. I spent the last several weeks testing it out. In this video, I'm going to share my experience using the camera, the features that make it unique, and everything you need to know before deciding to spend your hard-earned money on it. If you decide the Go Ultra is the right camera for you, I'd appreciate it if you use my affiliate link. It is down in the description. It helps support the channel. Thanks. What makes the Go series of cameras so special is that the camera can be removed from the body. The small standalone camera is great for POV and getting creative shots you can't do with a standard action camera. When the camera is in the body, you get the functions and features of a standard action camera. The Go Ultra standalone camera is bigger than the Go 3S camera at 53 grams, but the increase in size is worth the improvement in image quality. The standalone camera has a 1/1.28 inch sensor and the same 5 nanometer AI chip that's in the Ace Pro 2 and the X5. So you get features like pure video, which give you excellent low light performance in this really small camera. Another huge plus is now there's a micro SD card slot. You're not limited by internal storage capacity like the previous Go series cameras. The Go Ultra is great for POV shots and comes with a ton of accessories that make it easy to capture your life without the camera getting in the way. The magnetic pendant goes around your neck so you can get a chest level POV. You can adjust the length. You can even adjust the shooting angle by twisting the back of the pendant. On the front of the pendant are pictures showing you the correct way to orient the camera if you want to record horizontal or vertical content. To record horizontal content, make sure the indicator light is horizontal. To record vertical content, make sure the indicator light is vertical. The magnetic connection is strong. I've used it wearing thick hoodies and medium weight jackets and the camera doesn't budge. If you're concerned about the camera falling off the pendant, the standard bundle comes with the quick release safety cord. The cord wraps around the lanyard and connects to the camera using this quick release anchor. I don't recommend using the pendant for activities like running. The pendant just moves around too much. I have seen people wear it cycling, and I think that's because the cycling jerseys fit pretty tight to the body and there's not a lot of upper body movement. The magnetic pendant is nice, but I prefer the magnetic easy clip. The magnetic easy clip attaches to a hat. You can attach it to the bill of a hat or wear it like this. When the camera is attached to your hat, it follows your head movements, which is better for POV shots. When the camera was attached to the bill of my hat is when I really noticed the additional weight of the Go Ultra compared to the Go 3S. When I would run, I could feel the weight of the camera pushing the bill of the hat down. If you're going to be doing any type of intense activity, I recommend getting the Easy Clip headband. You can wear the band over your hat, or I like wearing it over my headband. I wouldn't wear it without some type of headgear because it can irritate your skin. You can use the safety cord with the headband so you don't have to worry about the camera falling off your head and getting damaged. The improved image quality means the Go Ultra isn't just a POV camera. I used it just like I would use any of my other cameras, but there's the extra benefit of just having a ton of mounting options. The camera is magnetic, so you can stick it to a lot of things around you. There are accessories like the pivot stand. I don't have one for the Go Ultra, but I use it all the time with the Go 3S. It has a reusable adhesive base, so you can stick it to just about anything. There is a quick release mount in these sticky tabs that I haven't used, but I'm really interested in trying. Being able to put the camera on your head is cool, but how do you know if you have the right angle, the right settings, or in the right mode? The body of the camera, aka the action pod, takes care of all that. It has a 2.5 inch flip touchscreen so you can see what the camera sees. You can use the action pod to control the camera and adjust settings and modes remotely. I put the camera on the outside of my Jeep and I can use the action pod to adjust any of the settings and stop and start recording from the driver's seat. On this channel, I make outdoor content, overlanding, hiking, camping, and videos about the gear I use to make those videos. If you're into the same thing, make sure to like and subscribe. The camera can record in 4K up to 60 frames per second. 4K 60 is my go-to setting because the image quality is great and you can slow it down 50% to 30 frames per second to get some nice slow motion. There's active HDR. HDR automatically boosts the dynamic range of your shots to capture footage in high contrast lighting. If you double tap the screen, the camera will zoom in 2 times with no decrease in image quality. The feature is called Clarity Zoom. The camera also performs well in low light because of a mode called pure video. The camera's AI chip will reduce the noise in the image and increase the brightness. I got up this early to test out the pure video mode on the Go Ultra, and I thought this would be a good time also to test out the audio. Right now I have this set to original audio, so there's not going to be any noise reduction. So this would be a good scenario because the city's just about waking up. We're getting road noise and traffic. So this is going to give you a more natural sound. I switched to voice enhancement mode. That's good for vlogging, so it should reduce a lot of that background noise from the traffic and the cars, and it's really going to bring up my voice. There's two other audio settings, wind reduction strong and wind reduction weak. It's not really windy out here this morning, so I'll have to find a different scenario to test that out. It's pretty windy up here, so this is a good spot to test out the auto wind reduction settings on the camera. Right now I have it set to wind reduction weak, and that's for walking, vlogging, maybe a light jog, something where you're not going to have a lot of wind speed. Now I'll switch it over to wind reduction strong. That is where you're bike riding, running, where you're gonna have that real high speed, so we can see if we hear a difference. I switched over to auto wind reduction strong. It's a pretty good breeze out here this morning, get some pretty good gusts going, so hopefully we're gonna get some good quality audio out of this. Being in the wind can really destroy, a video, because what they say, audio is half a video. So I typically will have the Ultra Go set into voice enhancement if it's a nice calm day, but if there's any hint of wind, I'm going to put it into one of the wind reduction modes. I connected the Mic Air to the Go Ultra. I've used the Mic Air with the Ace Pro 2 and the X5, and I'm really happy with it, and it works just as well with the Go Ultra. You can hear the audio quality right now. The noise reduction is off, so you're just hearing the natural sound around me. I do have the wind muff on there because it is a little breezy this morning, so hopefully you can hear a difference between the audio quality of the internal mic and having the external mic. The internal mic works well, but I always like having the external mic, especially if you want good quality from a distance. The standalone camera has a battery, and the Action Pod also has a battery. Insta360 claims that you can get 60 minutes of record time on the standalone camera and 170 minutes of record time if you use the standalone camera and the Action Pod together. Those results are under the best conditions with the best settings and often not realistic. So I ran my own test using 4K 60, and I was able to get a record time of 2 hours and 7 minutes using the camera and the Action Pod together. Insta360 claims you can recharge the camera and Action Pod in 40 minutes, and that was accurate. During my testing, the camera and Action Pod were fully charged in 39 minutes and 6 seconds. Insta360's electronic image stabilization is called Flow State, and it is excellent. I was able to get nice and smooth running footage. There are two cool stabilization features. Under field of view options, there is 45 degrees and 360 degrees. 45 degrees means you can tilt the camera up to 45 degrees, but the image stays nice and level. 360 is even crazier. You can rotate the camera a full 360 degrees and the image stays level. The standalone camera is waterproof, but the Action Pod is not. I repeat, the Action Pod is not waterproof, but it is splash resistant. I forgot that when I was running my test and I stuck it into this creek, but thankfully the Action Pod was not damaged. It is easy to misplace the camera since it is so small, something that I have done, especially since I'm always getting things in and out of my bag. But if you have the iPhone, you can use Find My to find the camera. You can turn on the sound to find the camera, but it only works for the camera, not the Action Pod. These next few features aren't unique to the Go Ultra, but they work really well if you want to control the standalone camera with or without the Action Pod. First is quick capture. When the camera is off, you press the shutter button and the camera turns on and starts recording. Push the shutter button again, the camera will stop recording and turn off. Next is voice control. You can stop and start recording using only your voice, so you don't have to worry about trying to press buttons when the camera is on your head or on a post. Start recording. Stop recording. And there's gesture control. If the camera is out of your reach, you can use a gesture to stop and start recording. The Go Ultra has all the modes you'd expect: photo, slow motion, time lapse, time shift, but there is one mode that is nice if you like to record content and want to easily be able to switch between vertical and horizontal, and that is called free frame. Free frame has grid lines, so you can frame the shot for vertical and horizontal video. When you go into the app, you can switch between 16:9 and 9:16, and both videos will be framed correctly. The standard bundle costs $449.99 and comes with the magnetic pendant, magnetic clip, and quick release safety cord. But there are several other bundles: the creator bundle, the cycling bundle, the vlogging bundle. I think the creator bundle at $499.99 is a good option, and just buy a specialty accessory if necessary. For me, the creator bundle and the easy clip headband is perfect. I was impressed overall with the performance of the camera, but I did have a few issues, and those related to the connection between the standalone camera and the action pod. There was times when I was trying to preview the image or control the standalone camera remotely, and there would be a pretty significant lag between the two devices and some signal weakness, but it didn't happen all the time. Thankfully, I never dropped the camera when the standalone camera and action pod were together. I don't know how well they stay together if it had a pretty significant drop, but I will say it is in there pretty secure. It's magnetic with clips. If I was to do anything that is really active and I'm concerned about it possibly falling, I would use the standalone camera by itself. With the upgraded sensor and AI chip, the Go Ultra can now compete with the GoPro, the Osmo Action, the Ace Pro. Those cameras may have higher resolution or higher frame rates, but 4K 60 is good enough for most people. Not only do I recommend this camera, I am adding it to my kit that I take with me all the time. If this video has been helpful, make sure to use my affiliate link and get yours directly from Insta360.